Hey there. I keep saying this. You continue to defend things. You keep making the same big mistakes. Hi, I'm Zane. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Man with the Show. This is a continuation of a story we carried before. We talked before, back before the break, about the current movie, which already has been released on Netflix. That's Netflix Cuties or Mignonnes, or however you want to call it. I call it just basically just trash. Because you have a movie here, and let's go through it. If you have been under the rock and you haven't heard about this story yet, you have a movie. I would not recommend it. If you want to go ahead on there, but I'll give you fair warning. You will turn this movie off as fast as you turn it on. This is a movie supposedly about some girls who basically they are in a twerking contest. Now you may ask yourself, well, why? What's so bad about that? Girls in a twerking contest. Well, they're about 10 and 11 years old. There you go. That's all needed to be said. I mean, this movie, has been criticized left and right. There's been basically petition signing to be canceled. That Netflix should pull this movie. Investigations are being asked for. Basically, a lot of questions are being asked. And this is what we're hearing this week. The country of Turkey has now officially banned the movie and is probably most likely going to fine Netflix for this. Now, one thing about Turkey, I don't agree with the law. I don't agree that the government is handling this, curtailing this to the structure, because the law has it on there. They have control of censorship in Turkey. But in this case, it is warranted because of the nature of the movie. Unfortunately, on Twitter, there have been some screenshots of the movie, and it is just frightening. It is more frightening than the trailer. I just can't believe. I mean, some of the stuff is just basic vomiting, of what they've done. And how this director still defends this movie, saying that I was trying to explain something like that. I understand if you were trying to explain a situation, a problem that is in this world. Yes, there is issues like this in the world, but it is how you executed this movie that is the issue. You did not have to audition 600 young girls between the ages of 9 and 11. Okay, number one. Number two, you could have gone with a much older, changed the parameters around and used an older 17, 18-year-olds to portray what you wanted to portray, if that's what you were trying to portray. And basically, you would not have this kind of a backlash. Now, a lot of people online, the mainstream media, they're calling it right-wing conspiracy, right-wing, that it is the far right that is just condemning this movie. Mainstream media, take a gander on Twitter. This is the first time, and I swear to you, it is the first time I've seen an equal amount of people chastising this movie from both sides, from both the left and right. I saw one post that the girl said she was Marxist, and she was offended of this movie. You have a lot of people out there just in the media going like, why are they condemning this movie? This is just a powerful movie. Last I saw on Rotten Tomatoes, it was at 6, then 5, then 4% as far as the audience rating. And the funny part is you can't even get past page 1 of the audience rating. I could imagine what page 2 and above was like, out of like over 500, 600 reviews. That should tell you alone how bad this movie is. And how this movie should have not been. How it won and you can ask yourself, well, it won a Sundance Award. Well, if you go in and you find out one of the co-founders of the Sundance Film Awards, not Robert Redford, but the other co-founder is in jail right now for not one, but twice abusing a child, sexually abusing a child. So that tells you something. What is the mentality over at Sundance? And I hope, Robert Redford has to come out and, say something about this. Really, truly. Because, I don't know how this got from overseas to here without any backlash, winning an award and stuff like that. And they say, well, it's directed by a black woman. Why are you criticizing the black? It doesn't matter who directed it, who produced it. This should have not been made the way it was made. Plain and simple. When you have an entire country already banning it, how many more countries will follow? How many more countries follow? You have scenes where she's stealing money from her mom. They're putting up makeup. They're putting on these tight outfits. The camera shots alone will tell you. And there was a big backlash on the poster. And they said, oh, this was a shot poster, stuff like that. No, it is a screen grab from the movie. It is an actual screen grab. Sometimes they do these posters. They go out. They go in the studio, shoot it. Boom, they put it on a poster. This was literally a screenshot. Actually, both posters are screenshots. And it is amazing that that people are defending this movie. We have issues with children. Just recently, in the last, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, I think it was, they just broke up it's hard to say this. Let me do it Umbrella Guy way. The P to the E to the D to the O ring. Yeah, that's right. There was one of those rings in Atlanta, Georgia, which there is a major problem in Georgia with this. 39 children were rescued. Let me repeat that again. 39 children were rescued from these people. Okay? And then you make a movie like this, which is just literally a dream for certain people, certain evil people.
Wait a minute. Oh, God, it's Chris Hansen.
And it's just, that they're screen grabbing these shots of these movies and they're doing things to it. You know that. You know exactly that. My question is now, normally through the processes that you go through to make a movie, when you audition, you record those auditions. Where are those audition tapes right now? I just want to know that. Because you had these girls twerking. Who has hold of these audition tapes? This needs to be found out, because over 600, that is just an insane amount of auditions for a movie. 100 to 200 auditions is about average, because you have callbacks. Sometimes you have second callbacks and you have third callbacks. They said, oh, we took 6 months on there. 6 months should have been within the first 100, 200 auditions. And you went with the girl. And think about this. You went with the girl that worked with this director before. So this is what means this. You've already chose the girl already. You've just did 600 more, 599 more auditions just for the hell of it. Just for the hell of it, maybe adding one or two others. You've already picked most of the girls within probably the first run. I got to ask you, what parent brought these kids in to see this? Did they see this? Because I know there are certain rules, and I don't know if Hollywood is going by this. There are rules on this side when it comes to, and this is more recent rules, that basically if you are, accused or you've been found guilty of certain child crimes.
Oh, no, it's Chris Hansen.
You're not allowed to work on a children's movie set or TV set, according to the current rules. Now, is it being enforced? I don't know. I don't know if they're out there on there, but everything from the director, the producer, all the way to the guys that hangs the lights, to the commissary people, you're not allowed to be on that set if you've been convicted. Plain and simple. Now, as far as the actor's guide, there's a lot into that. I've been reading it, and it just reads like stereo instructions, but it is just crazy. There are different rules in different countries on that. But when you look at the situation, and this is coming from Hollywood. This is coming from Hollywood, where the Oscars and this is a story that's coming out, that the Oscars are just about to violate, job rule regulations. They just released a new set of rules for 23, 24 on who you can hire, that you have to hire for that labor laws. They're just about to violate labor laws, and especially with the unions. I want to hear what the unions have to say, but that's another episode. We will discuss it then. But understand, and I'm going off a little bit here, and this is just upsets me to see on there. And I've mentioned this before. There's a movie out there called Kids. If you can find it, check it out. Understand, it's going to be deep. It's going to be a little disgusting. But it shows issues and problems from years ago. The AIDS, drugs, sex problem, with children that was going on in that time. Well, they were teenagers, really. Of that time period, it was done in a way that's the way you showed the issues. This was making it look like a CW episode. That was all bright and cheery and all that she was going to the dance competition, and that she was struggling because her parents didn't like it. Of course the parents didn't like it. Sexualizing the child? I wouldn't go for it. My wife wouldn't go for it. And my, I have a stepson and I have a grandchild. I would never let that happen to. I would fight my way through and not let that happen. Because basically, the thought and the premises of these things. I seen some of this hiring of kids and stuff like that years ago, back in the 80s when I just started in the business, and I was transitioning into film for a little bit and ended up on the audition side of it, and I just didn't care for it, and I just literally I quit. I didn't even last 3 seconds in the auditioning of children, because basically the way some of the auditions were just structured. I mean, there was nothing sexual or anything of that nature, but just the way they were handling everything and the way the parents were pushing the kids into this. It's like if you ever see Tiara, that show with the tiaras and stuff like that. Yeah, it was all like that. And I said, not the business for me to be into. I'd rather be behind the camera, behind the production staff, behind the editing. Plain and simple. I don't want to know nothing of the other end of the process of hiring actors and actresses. So, now to calm down just a little bit, but just to emphasize, I mean, at the time, it's like I said, hashtag cancel Netflix was still trending. When this video goes up, I think it's going up on Saturday or Tuesday, depending on when it's go up. It may change, but it may continue the same. There's been a lot of videos out on that. I recommend listen to everybody that's been putting this out, and then read the articles of the people who are for this movie, and you'll see how ridiculous they sound, because basically it is just, they're trying to blame Orange Man bad. It's his fault. No, it is not. You have created a movie that basically puts children in the forefront sexually. Do you understand that? And then they complain about a anime cartoon they have problems with because of the breast size, and it happened to be a 19-year-old college student. That's right. The character, it's called Usaki-chan, which is about to get English dub on Funimation soon. Here's a laugh for you. Monica Rial is going to be doing the voiceover. We'll discuss that a little bit down the line, but yeah. Yeah, think about that. Wrap that around your brain for about 3 seconds. But this is a 19-year-old girl who is well developed, and they complain about that more. They complain about video games. They complain about cartoons and anime. But meanwhile, a movie like this that comes out, whereas it won the Sundance Award, which a co-founder was found guilty of sexual abuse, not once, twice. Coming from a country that has just legalized consensual sex with a minor down to 15 years old, wanting it to get down to 13 years old. Wrap that around your head. So you see where we're getting at. And then there's, a lot of people says, don't confuse this on there, but there is a law that literally changes the whole parameters about the P, the E, the D, the O in California. Look it up. I think it's called SB 145. Look that up. And that's another ridiculous story. And if you say, well, no, look up the person who's doing it. This is the same person who wanted to basically not have the, what they call it, if you have AIDS, you don't report it to anybody. This is the same guy that did that. So think about, wrap yourself around that. We're going a little long here, but we're going to stop at this point. Thank you for watching, subscribing, share this video. Don't forget on there, hit that like. Thank you for tuning in on this edition of Man with the Show. Stay tuned. We got more episodes coming. We have a live stream coming. War Room Live, the Fandom Wars. That's coming very soon. We're working on that. So until next time, have yourself a good day. Stay angry at this. Comment below. Be nice. And I'll be seeing you.
You see,